stories of the Coma-Tones. Now, the Coma-Tones is literally one of the best bands that ever graced this planet. this band is sickeningly cool. Giovanni, that's the singer right there. I had to pause it right there so you get a good look. That's Giovanni. That was a big influence on Gary, the singer of the X-Idols. A lot of his, when he saw this guy, he's like, that guy's basically doing what I think, the kind of style that I'm doing. And he's doing it exactly right, and also it's completely authentic. And this guy's a very low-key person. He passed away, actually. I just found out reading in the comments that he passed away. Well, I didn't just found out. I found out a few years ago, but yes, I didn't like to hearing that. I believe even one of the other guys passed away. And but this band was just unbelievable. And I used to play gigs with them at I think it was Hell's Kitchen, was it called, or something like that. I forget. And I believe like just the underground clubs in LA, like those kind of clubs. And we played a lot of shows with them. We kind of always made sure that we played with them. Them and Sovereign was another band that we always played with Coma-Tones, Sovereign, us. Brent Muscat was in the band. I forget what his band was called. And it was a night we played with the Coma-Tones and Brent Muscat from Faster Pussycat. And he broke his string on his Les Paul, and he saw my Les Paul sitting there, our case, and he goes, hey, who owns, into the microphone, who owns this Les Paul? Can I borrow it? And I ran up and I go, yeah, no problem. And I let him borrow my Les Paul, Brent, for the show. And that was kind of funny. I actually remember that. And anyways, this is my favorite song from the Coma-Tones. The sound of this is not very good, but if you go on the original, you can hear, and especially if you put headphones on, and it will kick you in the teeth. Let me see here. So let's play a piece of this, but I gotta play this for people who don't know. Let me rewind you to the very beginning, because this video starts off really cool. That's not my speakers crackling, that's the recording. This is a fantastic music video. Whoever put this together really put some TLC into it. And this is exactly what they were like live, but loud as shit. The stupid playlist, it does that. I don't know why it does that. Let me fast forward a little bit more. I can't start this over. That reminds me of Gary. Man, this video looks great. That's a great lyric. Square balls were never meant to roll. Goodbye. This is the best part. Yeah. Loud, if you're in the nightclub, that shit is like a bomb blowing up. And that's Brian from the Fizzy Bangers on guitar there, by the way. And Brian also later on formed the Countdowns, and my drummer from I was in two bands with him, X Idols and the Madrigal Piece. Lance Porter was in the Countdowns with the guitar player of this band. I forgot about that, and I got that CD too. It's really good, and oh man, it's really good. And he also played with I believe that's with Jane Whelan from the Go-Go's, with Shawnee and Lance from Imaginal Peace. That played. Those are the bass player and drummer from Imaginal Peace and the X Idols. They ended up being the rhythm section of Jane Whelan when she put out her album for Frosted, for a band called Frosted, and in like I guess it was 1996 actually. I remember, and the reason why I remember is because we were in New York. And I remember Lance called Jane Whelan while we were in the room in the hotel, and she was crying because she just turned 40 at the time or something like that. I'm so old, which is kind of funny. And so I was drunk, and I was saying, "Oh, don't worry about it. You're so beautiful." And she's like, "Oh, great, thanks. Can you put Lance back on the phone?" And Lance is like, "Dude, bro." And yes, and so I remember I was in New York because that was we played the MTV Music After Party at the park, and they had this huge park with 8 digital screens that were like 200 feet in the air. It's I actually have footage of it on YouTube in the Disco Inferno video in my official music video section. The massive stage we're playing on, that's the one. And anyways, and that's the same. I remember it very well. It's mainly because that's the night that Van Halen got back together with David Lee Roth that night. And I was there in New York. I was going, wow, David Lee Roth's back in Van Halen. Little did I know that he was going to be out of Van Halen like the next day. But he was in Van Halen for like a minute, you know. And that's why I remember that. But anyways, that was a tangent. So there's the Coma-Tones. They have a bunch of songs up on YouTube. They're like... as far as all the underground bands that I saw, out of all of them, there were so many that I saw that were really good. This is my favorite, I think. Well, yeah, this one, there's a few. Izzy the Pusher. This one, though, I never saw Izzy the Pusher live. This band I played with a bunch of times, so it's quite effective, you know, live. Anyways, there you go, the Coma-Tones. I'll tell more stories.